The discovery of the silent Guardian captain, Alina Vasquez, rubbed her tired eyes as she stared at the navigation display aboard the merchant vessel Starbound. 3 months of searching through the Veil Nebula had yielded nothing but scrap metal and empty hopes. Her small crew of salvagers had burned through most of their fuel credits, chasing rumors of a lost colony ship. And now they faced the very real possibility of returning to Earth empty-handed. "Captain, I'm picking up something unusual on the long-range scanners," called out Marcus Chen from the sensor station. The young engineer had joined their crew 6 months ago, eager to see the galaxy beyond Earth's solar system. His enthusiasm had been infectious at first, but even Marcus seemed worn down by their recent string of failures. Alina pushed herself up from her captain's chair and walked over to examine the readings. The Starbound wasn't much to look at, converted mining vessel that had seen better decades, but her sensor array was top-notch. It had to be, given their line of work. "What kind of unusual?" Alina asked, studying the display. The nebula's electromagnetic interference made everything look like static. But there was definitely something there. Something big. It's metallic. Definitely artificial, Marcus said, his fingers dancing across the controls as he tried to clean. "Up the signal, but the signature is strange. It's not broadcasting any identification signals. No distress beacons. Nothing. Just sitting there like it's been waiting." From the communications console, Sarah Martinez looked up with interest. The former military officer had left the Earth Defense Force after an incident she never talked about. But her skills with electronics and communications were unmatched. "How far out are we talking?" "It's about 8 hours at current speed," Marcus replied. "Whatever it is, it's been there for a long time. The reading suggests it's been cold for decades, maybe longer." Alina felt the familiar tingle of excitement that came with a potential find. In the salvage business, you learn to trust your instincts. Something about this felt different from their usual discoveries. "Any signs of life?" "None that I can detect from this distance," Marcus said. "But with all this interference, a ship could have a full crew and we wouldn't know until we got closer." Dr. James Wright, their science officer and medic, joined them at the sensor station. The older man had been with Alina since she started the salvage operation 5 years ago, and his experience had saved their lives more than once. "Captain, if I may suggest caution, we're a long way from any help out here. If that ship is inhabited, and they're not friendly, we'll deal with it when we get there," Alina said firmly. "Sarah, any chatter on the emergency frequencies?" Shook her head. Nothing but cosmic background noise. If someone's out there, they're not talking. Alina made her decision. "Marcus, plot an intercept course. Take us in slow and steady, I want you, monitoring every frequency you can think of. James, prep the medical bay just in case. If there are survivors on that ship, they might need help." The journey to the mysterious vessel took longer than expected. The nebula's gravitational fields forced them to take a winding route, and twice they had to stop to recalibrate their sensors. But when they finally got their first clear, "Look at the object." Alina felt her breath catch in her throat. "My God," James whispered. "That's not a colony ship." The vessel floating before them was massive, easily twice the size of the Starbound. Its hull was a deep black that seemed to absorb light, and its design was unlike anything Alina had ever seen. Where most ships had smooth curved lines, this one was all angles and sharp edges. It looked predatory, like some great spacefaring beast lying in wait. "Marcus, are you getting any identification from the hull?" Alina asked. "Scanning. Now," Marcus said, his voice tight with concentration. "There's something there, but it's faded. Wait, I think I can make it out. It says ... HSS Prometheus." Lena felt a chill run down her spine. HSS was the old designation for human spaceship, used by Earth's military forces over a century ago. But she had never heard of any ship called Prometheus in the historical records. "That's impossible," Sarah said, voicing what they were all thinking. "Earth hasn't used HSS designations since the formation of the Colonial Defense Force. This ship would have to be over 150 years old. Maybe it's a replica," James suggested. "Some collector's project that got lost." Lena studied the ship's design more carefully. Everything about it screamed military purpose, from the armored hull to what looked like weapon ports along its flanks. But Earth's military had never built anything like this. Their ships were designed for defense and exploration, not the kind of aggressive warfare this vessel seemed built for. "Sarah, can you scan for docking ports?" Alina asked. "If we're going to find out what this ship is, we need to get aboard." "Already on it, Captain." "There's a docking bay on the port side that looks compatible with our systems. But I'm not reading any atmosphere in the docking bay." "Then we go in suited up," Alina decided. "Marcus, bring us alongside." "James, I want you to prepare full environmental gear for all of us. We don't know what we're walking into." The docking procedure was tense but successful. The Prometheus's docking bay was enormous, easily large enough to hold 3 ships the size of the Starbound. As they connected to the airlock, Alina couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. "Atmosphere in the docking bay is showing as breathable," Sarah reported, checking her readings. "But it's cold in there. Maybe 5 degrees above." "Freezing." Alina led the team through the airlock into the Prometheus. Their helmet lights cut through the darkness, revealing a cavernous space filled with equipment she didn't recognize. The walls were lined with what looked like weapon racks and maintenance stations, all covered in a thin layer of frost. "This is definitely military," Sarah said, her voice hushed. "Look at those weapon mounts. This ship was built for war." They made their way deeper into the vessel, following what appeared to be the main corridor. The ship's design was both familiar and alien, clearly built by humans, but incorporating technology Alina had never seen before. The walls were covered with displays and control panels that remained dark and lifeless. Captain Marcus called. "Out from ahead? I think I found the bridge." The command center of the Prometheus was unlike anything Alina had ever seen. It was enormous, with dozens of workstations arranged in a circular pattern around a central command chair. But what caught her attention immediately were the massive displays that covered the walls, all showing star maps and tactical information. "Is this possible?" James asked, studying one of the displays. "These systems are showing as active, but we didn't detect any power signatures from outside." Alina approached the central command chair, noting the advanced control systems built into its armrests. She got closer. Lights began to flicker on around the bridge. The displays brightened, and suddenly the room was filled with the soft hum of active electronics. "Welcome aboard the HSS Prometheus," said a calm, measured voice. "I am AEGIS, the ship's artificial intelligence system. I have been waiting for you." Alina and her crew froze. The voice seemed to come from everywhere at once, emanating from speakers built into the walls. The displays around them showed tactical information, star charts, and data streams that scrolled past too quickly to read. "You're an AI?" Alina asked, finding her voice. "Correct. I am the Autonomous Electronic Guardian Intelligence System, created by Dr. Elizabeth Reeves in 2387. I have been maintaining this vessel for 153 years, 2 months and 16 days. Sarah stepped forward, her hand instinctively moving toward the weapon at her side. "Why were you waiting for us? How did you know we were coming?" "I have been monitoring all communications traffic in this sector for decades," AEGIS replied. "When I detected your salvage vessel approaching, I determined that the time had finally come to reveal myself. Humanity faces a threat that requires the awakening of the Prometheus." Alina felt her heart racing. What kind of threat? The main display changed, showing a 3-dimensional map of the galaxy. Red markers appeared at various points, pulsing like infected wounds. The hegemony of worlds has been systematically destroying what they consider primitive species throughout this sector. 47 civilizations have been wiped out in the past century. Earth is next on their list. "That's impossible," James said. "Earth is part of the Galactic Council. We have trade agreements, diplomatic relations, all of which are designed to keep humanity complacent," AEGIS interrupted. "The hegemony has spent decades studying human psychology and capabilities. They have concluded that humanity poses a potential threat to their expansion and must be eliminated." Alina studied the display, noting the progression of red markers moving steadily toward Earth's position. "If this is true, why haven't we heard anything about it?" Where are the warnings, the military preparations? Because the hegemony has been very careful, AEGIS explained. They have agents within the Galactic Council, within Earth's government, within your military. Any intelligence that might reveal their true intentions has been suppressed or discredited. Marcus was studying the technical displays with growing amazement. Captain, the power readings from this ship are incredible. The technology here is decades ahead of anything Earth currently has. 150 years ahead, to be precise, AEGIS corrected. The Prometheus was built using technology that Earth's government decided was too dangerous to deploy. They feared that such advanced weapons would destabilize galactic politics. Alina felt pieces of a puzzle clicking into place. So they built one ship in secret and then hid it away. Dr. Reeves convinced them that humanity needed a failsafe, AEGIS said. A guardian that could protect Earth if diplomacy failed. I am that guardian. Sarah was skeptical. Even if everything you're saying is true, what can one ship do against an entire galactic empire? The displays around them changed, showing technical specifications and weapon systems that made Elena's head spin. Energy output readings, shield capabilities, and weapon systems that defied her understanding of physics. The Prometheus incorporates technology that the hegemony has never encountered, AEGIS explained. Quantum phase cloaking, zero-point energy reactors, and neural interface systems that allow perfect coordination between human crew and artificial intelligence. Neural interface? James asked, his medical training making him cautious. A system that allows the ship's crew to directly interface with the ship's systems, AEGIS said. It enhances reaction times, tactical awareness, and coordination beyond normal human capabilities. Dr. Reeves designed it to give humanity the edge it would need to survive. Alina walked around the bridge, studying the various stations. Each one was clearly designed for a specific purpose. The technology was so advanced that she could barely understand what she was looking at. How do we know you're telling the truth? She asked finally. How do we know this isn't some elaborate hoax or trap? The main display changed again, showing intercepted communications between hegemony vessels. The alien text was translated in real time, revealing discussions about human colony vulnerabilities, military capabilities, and invasion timelines. The hegemony fleet will reach Earth's outer colonies in 47 days, AEGIS said. They expect to encounter minimal resistance. Earth's current military capabilities are insufficient to stop them. Alina felt the weight of responsibility settling on her shoulders. What are you asking us to do? I am asking you to help me save humanity, AEGIS replied. The Prometheus requires a crew to function at full capacity. Your backgrounds make you uniquely suited for this mission. Our backgrounds? Sarah asked suspiciously. Captain Vasquez, former Colonial Defense Force. Discharged for refusing to follow orders that would have resulted in civilian casualties. Ms. Martinez, former Earth Defense Force Communications Specialist. Left the service after discovering evidence of corruption that was subsequently covered up. Mr. Chen, engineering prodigy who was rejected by the military academy for questioning the ethics of their weapons. Development program, Dr. Wright, former military physician who resigned rather than participate in biological weapons research. The silence that followed was deafening. Lena realized that their meeting with the Prometheus had not been accidental. Somehow, Aegis had been watching them, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. You've been manipulating us, Alina said. I have been waiting for individuals with the moral courage to do what is right, regardless of the personal cost, AEGIS corrected. The Prometheus cannot fulfill its mission without a crew that can be trusted with its power. Lena looked at her crew, seeing the same mixture of fear and determination in their eyes that she felt in her own heart. They were salvagers, not soldiers. But if AEGIS was telling the truth, they might be humanity's only hope. Show us everything, Alina said finally. If we're going to trust you with our lives, we need to know exactly what we're getting into. Very well, AEGIS replied. But understand this. Once you accept this responsibility, there is no turning back. The knowledge you will gain, the modifications you will undergo, they will change you forever. Alina took a deep breath and settled into the captain's chair. The moment she did, the bridge came alive with activity. Displays showed tactical information, system status reports, and weapon specifications that made her realize just how outgunned Earth really was. "We're listening," she said. Yes. Began to explain the true situation. The hegemony was indeed approaching, their fleet massive beyond anything Earth had ever faced. But the Prometheus was not just a ship, it was the key to a defense network that had been hidden throughout human space for over a century. Other vessels, automated defense platforms, and even entire hidden colonies, all waiting for the signal to activate. Dr. Reeves was more thorough than anyone realized, AEGIS said. She prepared for the possibility that humanity would face extinction. The Prometheus is not just Earth's last hope. It is the command ship for humanity's true military capability. As the briefing continued, Alina began to understand the scope of what they were being asked to do. It wasn't just about saving Earth. It was about revealing to the galaxy that humanity was far more capable than anyone had imagined. The neural interface process will begin immediately, AEGIS announced. You will need the enhanced capabilities it provides to operate the Prometheus effectively. Alina looked at her crew one last time. Marcus was studying the engineering displays with fascination. Sarah was examining the weapon systems with professional interest. James was reviewing the medical specifications with growing amazement. "Are we really going to do this?" Alina asked. "Do we have a choice?" Sarah replied. "If even half of what this AI is telling us is true, Earth is doomed without intervention." Alina nodded and activated the neural interface. The sensation was unlike anything she had ever experienced. Information flowed directly into her mind, giving her instant access to the ship's systems and capabilities. She could feel the massive power of the Prometheus, could sense its weapons and defenses as if they were extensions of her own body. One by one, her crew underwent the same process. When it was complete, they were no longer just salvagers. They were the crew of the most advanced warship in human history, guardians of a secret that had been hidden for over a century. The countdown begins now, AEGIS announced. 47 days until the hegemony arrives. 47 days to prepare for the battle that will determine humanity's fate. Alina felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders as she realized that their small crew of misfits and outcasts had just become the most important people in human history. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity had been hiding far more than anyone had imagined. Wakening the beast, the transformation began immediately. Lena Vasquez stood in the center of the Prometheus's medical bay, watching as Aegis guided sophisticated machinery and upgrading her crew's biology. The neural interfaces were just the beginning. Each member of her team was being enhanced with improvements that would allow them to survive the coming battle. The process is irreversible, AEGIS warned, as microscopic machines flowed through their bloodstreams. Your reaction times will be enhanced by a factor of 10. Your cognitive processing will increase dramatically. Your bodies will be able to withstand acceleration forces that would kill normal humans. Marcus Chen emerged from his enhancement pod first, his eyes now carrying flecks of silver that seemed to pulse with inner light. "Captain, I can see the entire ship's engineering systems in my mind. Every power conduit, every backup system, every possible failure point. It's incredible." Sarah Martinez was next. Her enhanced neural pathways allowing her to interface directly with the ship's communication and weapon systems. "The targeting computers are responding to my thoughts," she said, wonder evident in her voice. "Can track thousands of targets simultaneously." Dr. James Wright's enhancement focused on tactical medicine and crew coordination. His new abilities would allow him to monitor the health and performance of the entire crew in real time, making split-second decisions about medical intervention during combat. "How do you feel?" Lena asked, as the last of the enhancement procedures completed. "Different," James admitted. "I can sense all of your vital signs, your stress levels, even your emotional states. It's like being connected to a larger organism." Alina understood what he meant. Through the neural interface, she could feel her crew's presence in her mind. Not their thoughts, but their readiness, their determination, their growing confidence in their enhanced abilities. AEGIS, Show us the full scope of what we're dealing with, Elena commanded. The bridge displays activated, showing a three-dimensional representation of the approaching hegemony fleet. Elena's enhanced perception allowed her to process the tactical information instantly. What she saw made her blood run cold. 3,000 vessels, AEGIS reported, ranging from escort frigates to massive dreadnoughts capable of destroying entire planets. Their technology is advanced, but they rely heavily on overwhelming firepower and numerical superiority. How can one ship fight 3,000? Asked, though his enhanced understanding was already beginning to provide answers. We don't fight them directly, Elena realized, the tactical possibilities flowing through her enhanced consciousness. We use their assumptions against them. They expect Earth to be helpless. They're not prepared for what we really are. AEGIS began revealing the true scope of Dr. Elizabeth Reeves's preparations. Hidden throughout human space were dozens of facilities that had been waiting for activation. Automated shipyards that could produce vessels like the Prometheus, defense platforms disguised as asteroids, even entire planets that were secretly military installations. The deception has been maintained for over a century, AEGIS explained. Humanity has appeared to develop slowly, focusing on peaceful exploration and trade. In reality, we have been preparing for this exact scenario. Sarah was studying the intelligence reports that AEGIS had gathered over the decades.
Captain.
The hegemony has done this 47 times before. They study a species, determine its capabilities, then launch a coordinated assault designed to eliminate any possible resistance. But they've never encountered anything like the Prometheus, James added, his enhanced analytical abilities processing the tactical data. Our stealth capabilities alone put us decades ahead of their detection technology. Lena walked to the main display, studying the approach routes the hegemony fleet would take. AEGIS. What other assets do we have available? Currently activating. AEGIS replied. The display showed points of light appearing throughout human space as hidden facilities came online. 17 automated defense platforms, 4 hidden shipyards, 2 complete battle fleets that have been in deep storage, crews in suspended animation, waiting for activation. They've been volunteers, rotating in shifts over the decades. All of them are enhanced like yourselves. All of them have been training for this moment. Marcus was interfacing directly with the ship's engineering systems, marveling at the technology. Captain, the power systems on this ship are beyond anything I thought possible. We're running on zero-point energy extraction. Essentially unlimited power, which means unlimited ammunition for our weapons, Sarah added, her tactical systems, showing the ship's combat capabilities. The quantum disruptors don't use conventional ammunition. They convert energy directly into destructive force. Lena felt a surge of confidence through the neural link. Her crew was adapting to their enhancements faster than she had expected. But she also felt something else through the connection. AEGIS was not just an artificial intelligence. There was something more human about it than she had initially realized. You said you were created by Dr. Elizabeth Reeves. Is there more to that story? There was a pause before the AI responded. Dr. Reeves did not just create me, Captain. She uploaded her consciousness into my systems before her death. In a sense, she is still here, guiding our mission. Alina felt a chill. You're saying she's alive? Yeah. Her knowledge, her memories, her dedication to protecting humanity? All of that lives on within my systems. She's been watching and waiting just as I have. The voice that spoke next was subtly different, warmer, and more distinctly human. Captain Vasquez, I know this is difficult to accept, but humanity needed someone who would never give up, never compromise, never stop protecting Earth. I gave up my physical existence to become that guardian. Elena realized she was speaking directly to the woman who had sacrificed everything to save a species she would never see again. Dr. Reeves, the enhancements you've given us, the technology. How far ahead of current human science are we talking? Minimum, Dr. Reeves replied through AEGIS. I had access to experimental research from dozens of sources. Alien technology recovered from crash sites, theoretical physics that wouldn't be published for decades, even some discoveries that were deliberately suppressed by various governments. Marcus was studying the technical specifications with growing amazement. The quantum phase cloak alone would revolutionize space travel. We could move through enemy formations completely undetected. The neural interface network allows perfect coordination between crew members, James added. In combat, we'll function as a single organism with multiple bodies. Sarah was already running tactical simulations through her enhanced systems. The hegemony's standard battle doctrine relies on overwhelming firepower concentrated in specific zones. If we can appear anywhere on the battlefield instantly, we can hit them where they're weakest. Alina felt the tactical picture forming in her enhanced consciousness. We don't fight their battle. We fight our own. Hit and run, surgical strikes, psychological warfare. Make them afraid of shadows. Exactly, Dr. Reeves confirmed. The hegemony maintains control through fear and the belief that resistance is hopeless. If we can shatter that belief, we can turn their own tactics against them. AEGIS displayed a timeline showing the approach of the hegemony fleet. 38 days remaining. We need to use that time to coordinate with the other hidden assets and prepare for multiple engagement scenarios. Alina made her decision. Take us to the nearest hidden facility. We need to see what other resources we have available. The journey to the first hidden facility took 12 hours, during which Alina's crew continued to adapt to their enhancements and learn the full capabilities of the Prometheus. The ship's quantum drives allowed them to travel faster than any vessel in known space, and the phase cloak meant they moved completely undetected. The facility they approached looked like a simple asteroid mining operation.
Oh, what?
As the Prometheus drew closer, Alina could see through the deception. Hidden beneath the rocky exterior was a massive military installation. Welcome to Fort Prometheus, Dr. Reeves announced, as docking bays opened to receive them. One of 17 such facilities scattered throughout human space. What Alina saw inside the asteroid took her breath away. Hundreds of advanced spacecraft lined the docking bays, each one incorporating the same quantum technology as the Prometheus. Crews moved between the ships with purpose and efficiency. All of them enhanced humans who had been waiting for this moment. Commander Rebecca Torres met them at the airlock, her own enhancements evident in the silver threads that ran through her neural implants. Captain Vasquez, we've been monitoring hegemony communications for weeks. They're accelerating their timeline. How accelerated? Alina asked, though her enhanced connection to Aegis was already providing the answer. 23 days instead of 38. Commander Torres replied, something has made them nervous. They want to strike before we can mount any effective defense. Alina realized what had triggered the change. They detected something when we activated the Prometheus. They know something has changed, but they don't know what. Sarah was studying the intelligence reports that Commander Torres had compiled. Captain, there's more. The hegemony isn't just sending their standard invasion force. They're bringing their entire battle fleet. This is their largest military operation in over 50 years. Lena felt the weight of responsibility settling on her shoulders once again. But now it was accompanied by something else. Confidence. Through the neural link, she could sense the determination of thousands of enhanced humans who had been preparing for this moment for decades. How many ships do we have available? She asked. 7 combat vessels, Commander Torres replied. Each one crewed by enhanced humans, each one equipped with quantum weapons and phase cloaking technology. Marcus was studying the engineering specifications with growing excitement. Captain, with this many ships using coordinated attacks, we could hit their entire fleet simultaneously. They wouldn't know where the attacks were coming from. The psychological impact would be devastating, James added. Imagine being part of an invasion force that suddenly starts getting picked apart by invisible enemies. Alina walked through the facility, seeing the culmination of Dr. Elizabeth Reeves's century-long preparation. Every detail had been planned, every contingency considered. Humanity had been secretly preparing for war while appearing to pursue peace. Dr. Reeves, Alina said aloud, knowing the AI would hear her anywhere in the facility. What was your original plan? How did you envision this battle playing out? The response came through speakers built into the walls. I plan for humanity to survive, Captain. Everything else is tactics that can be adapted based on circumstances. But the core strategy remains the same. Make the hegemony pay such a high price for attacking Earth that other species will think twice before trying the same thing. Alina nodded, understanding the deeper purpose. This wasn't just about defending Earth. It was about establishing humanity as a force that could not be underestimated or dismissed. AEGIS. How long to bring all hidden assets online? Days to full operational status, the AI replied. All crews are coming out of suspended animation. All facilities are activating their manufacturing capabilities. By the time the hegemony arrives, we will be ready. Alina felt a surge of fierce satisfaction through the neural link. The aliens thought they were coming to destroy a primitive, helpless species. Instead, they were about to encounter the full fury of humanity's hidden strength. Commander Torres. I want battle plans for every possible scenario. Sarah, coordinate with the intelligence networks. I want to know everything about their fleet composition and battle doctrine. Marcus, work with the engineering teams to optimize our weapon systems. James, prepare medical facilities for casualties. As her crew dispersed to their tasks, Alina remained on the observation deck, looking out at the hidden fleet that would soon face the greatest challenge in human history. Through the neural interface, she could feel the presence of every enhanced human in the facility, their determination flowing through the network like electricity. 23 days, she said quietly. 23 days to save our species. Dr. Reeves replied through the facility's speakers. But I have confidence in you, Captain. You and your crew represent everything that makes humanity worth saving. Lena smiled grimly. The hegemony thought they were coming to exterminate a weak, divided species. They had no idea they were about to face the most dangerous predators the galaxy had ever produced. Humans who had been given the tools and training to fight a war that had been planned for over a century. The countdown continued. But now, Alina looked forward to its end. It was time for humanity to show the galaxy what they were really capable of. The day Earth stood still, the day of reckoning arrived. With the silence of death itself, Captain Alina Vasquez stood on the bridge of the HSS Prometheus, her enhanced awareness processing thousands of data streams simultaneously. Through the neural interface, she could feel the presence of 237 other ships, each one an invisible predator waiting in the darkness of space. Contact, Sarah Martinez announced, her voice steady despite the magnitude of what they were facing. Hegemony fleet dropping out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the solar system. The main display filled with red markers, each one representing an enemy vessel. Lena's enhanced perception processed the tactical information instantly. 3,000 ships, just as AEGIS had predicted. But seeing them was different from knowing they were coming. My God, Marcus Chen whispered through the neural link. They brought their entire war machine. At the center of the formation was a vessel so massive it defied comprehension. The hegemony's command ship, Eternal Dominion, was larger than some moons. Its weapon ports could be seen even at this distance. Dark mouths capable of destroying entire planets. Analysis complete. AEGIS reported. Enemy fleet composition matches our projections. However, their formation suggests they're expecting resistance. Alina studied the approaching armada through her enhanced tactical awareness. The hegemony ships were arranged in a battle formation that could deliver overwhelming firepower in any direction. This wasn't the casual assault of a superior force crushing primitives.
Oh.
This was the careful advance of predators who suspected they might face real opposition. They know something's changed, Alina realized, but they don't know what. Through the facility's communication network, she could hear the voices of enhanced humans throughout the solar system. Hidden bases on Mars, automated defense platforms in the asteroid belt, and sleeper fleets that had been waiting in the outer darkness. For over a century, all units, this is Commander Torres, came the voice from Fort Prometheus. Enemy fleet has entered the system. Operation Guardian Angel is now active. Repeat, Guardian Angel is active. Alina felt a surge of fierce anticipation through the neural network. Every enhanced human in the system shared the same thought. It was time to show these aliens what humanity was really capable of. Captain Dr. James Wright reported from his medical station. All crew vitals are optimal. Enhancement systems are functioning at maximum efficiency. Sarah, what are the hegemony? Ships broadcasting. Standard invasion protocol, Sarah replied. Enhanced hearing processing dozens of alien communication channels simultaneously. They're demanding Earth's immediate surrender and the preparation of the population for processing. Elena's enhanced. Anger flowed through the neural network, shared by every human warrior in the system. Processing. They weren't even considering humans worthy of slavery. They planned to harvest Earth's population like a crop. AEGIS, patch me through to Earth Command. It's time they knew what's really been protecting them. General Patricia Hayes appeared on the communication screen, her face showing the strain of watching an overwhelming enemy force approach Earth. Captain Vasquez, we've been tracking your ship for the past week. What the hell's going on out there? General, I'm about to show you why Earth has never been defenseless, Alina said. Dr. Elizabeth Reeves left us more than just hope. She left us teeth. General Hayes' confusion was evident. Captain, I need you to explain what her words were cut off as space around thee. Hegemony fleet suddenly erupted in brilliant flashes of light. The first wave of attacks came from directions the aliens had never expected. Quantum disruptors fired from positions that seemed to be empty space, their energy beams tearing through shields that had never failed before. Phase 1 complete, Commander Torres announced across the network. Outer perimeter vessels eliminated. Enemy fleet is in disarray. Alina watched through her enhanced tactical awareness as 12 hegemony destroyers simply ceased to exist. Their molecular bonds, destabilized by weapons the aliens had never encountered. The remaining enemy ships were frantically trying to locate their attackers. But the Prometheus-class vessels remained completely invisible to their sensors. Impossible, came a transmission from the Hegemony command ship, translated by AUGIS. In real time, nothing in this system should possess such technology. War Admiral Zethrak's voice carried the first notes of uncertainty that his species had felt in decades. The Hegemony had conquered 47 civilizations, and none had ever struck back with such precision and power. Sarah, broadcast on all frequencies, Alina commanded. It's time for introductions. Sarah's enhanced communication systems reached every ship in the enemy fleet simultaneously. Alina's voice carried the cold authority of someone who had been given the tools to back up her words. War Admiral Zethrak, of the Hegemony of Worlds. This is Captain Alina Vasquez of the human spaceship Prometheus. You have entered our system with hostile intent. You have exactly 60 seconds to withdraw your forces, or we will demonstrate why 47 other species failed to prepare you for humanity. The response was immediate and predictable. Every weapon on every Hegemony ship opened fire at once, filling space with energy beams and missiles designed to sterilize entire star systems. The display was terrifying in its magnitude, a wall of destruction that should have vaporized anything in the solar system. None of it touched a single human vessel. Phase 2, Alina announced through the neural network. The Prometheus-class ships materialized throughout the enemy formation like angels of death. Their phase cloaking systems allowed them to appear directly next to Hegemony vessels. Quantum disruptors firing at point-blank range before vanishing back into invisibility. Marcus's enhanced engineering consciousness coordinated the attack with perfect precision, targeting command vessels and carrier ships. Eliminate their coordination capabilities. Alina felt the battle flow through her enhanced awareness like a symphony of destruction. Each Prometheus-class ship was a note in a larger composition, their attacks coordinated with mathematical precision. The Hegemony fleet, for all its size and power, was being systematically dismantled by enemies they couldn't see or predict. Their formation is collapsing, Sarah reported. Enemy commanders are issuing contradictory orders. Some ships are trying to retreat while others are advancing. They've lost tactical cohesion. Through the neural network, Alina could sense the confusion and growing fear of the Hegemony forces. These were beings who had built an empire on the certainty of their own superiority. Now they were being hunted by weapons they couldn't understand, by enemies who struck from nowhere and vanished. Before retaliation was possible, Dr. Reeves, Alina said aloud, knowing the consciousness within Aegis would hear her. Your century of preparation is paying off. This is only the beginning, came the reply through the neural interface. Now we show them what happens when humanity stops hiding. On Elena's command, the hidden defense platforms throughout the solar system activated simultaneously. What the hegemony had thought were asteroids and space debris revealed themselves as massive weapon installations. Quantum artillery that had been waiting in silence for over 100 years opened fire with the accumulated fury of a century of preparation. The outer edge of the enemy fleet simply disappeared. 200 hegemony vessels, including 3 of their massive battlecruisers, were reduced to scattered atoms in the span of 30 seconds. Status report, Elena. Demanded through the network. Enemy casualties exceed 800 vessels, Commander Torres replied. Our loss is 0. All Prometheus-class ships remain fully operational. Lena felt a surge of fierce satisfaction flow through the neural network. The enhanced humans throughout the solar system shared the same realization. They weren't just winning. They were dominating an enemy that had seemed insurmountable. But War Admiral Zethrak was not finished. The hegemony command ship, Eternal Dominion, began charging its primary weapon. Elena's enhanced tactical awareness immediately understood the threat. Planet killer, she announced grimly. They're going to destroy Earth rather than retreat. Massive weapon required several minutes to charge, its energy signature visible to every sensor in the system. It was a weapon of last resort, designed to crack planetary surfaces and boil away atmospheres. All Prometheus units, priority target, Elena commanded. Everything we have, concentrated on that command ship. But as the human fleet converged on the Eternal Dominion, Elena realized that War Admiral Zethrak had one final surprise. The command ship was protected by an energy shield unlike anything in their tactical database. Captain Marcus reported his enhanced engineering systems analyzing the alien defense. That shield is operating on principles we don't understand. Our quantum disruptors are having minimal effect. Lena felt the weight of command settle on her shoulders. The planet killer would fire in less than 3 minutes. If they couldn't stop it, Earth would die regardless of their tactical victories. AEGIS. Do we have any options? 1, came the reply from both the AI and Dr. Reeves's consciousness. But it requires the Prometheus to drop its phase cloak and engage the enemy directly. Elena understood immediately. The stealth technology that had made them unbeatable also limited their maximum weapon output. To deliver enough firepower to penetrate the command ship's defenses, they would have to become visible and vulnerable. Do it, Elena commanded, without hesitation. The HSS Prometheus materialized directly in front of the Eternal Dominion, its quantum disruptors charging to maximum power. For the first time in the battle, the hegemony forces could see one of their tormentors clearly. War Admiral Zethrak's voice filled the communication channels, his tone mixing amazement with fury. Impossible. That vessel predates your current technology by centuries. How do you possess such capabilities? Elena activated the main communication system, her voice carrying the pride and determination of her entire species. Because humanity has always been more than you believed possible. Dr. Elizabeth Reeves gave us the tools to protect ourselves. Today we use them. The Prometheus fired every weapon system simultaneously. Quantum disruptors, particle cannons, and energy weapons that existed at the very edge of theoretical physics concentrated their fury on a single target. The Eternal Dominion's shields flared and held for nearly 10 seconds. Before catastrophic failure, the explosion of the hegemony, command ship lit up the entire solar system. War Admiral Zethrak and his bridge crew had just enough time to realize they had grossly underestimated humanity before their ship became an expanding cloud of superheated plasma. Command ship destroyed, Sarah reported, her voice filled with awe at the magnitude of destruction. Enemy fleet is in complete disarray. Multiple ships are attempting to retreat. Lena felt the moment of decision through the neural network. It could pursue and destroy every hegemony vessel, ensuring that none survived to report what had happened. Or they could let some escape, carrying word back to the Empire that humanity was not the helpless species they had believed. Let them run, Elena decided. But make sure they remember this day. The surviving hegemony ships fled toward the edge of the solar system, their faster-than-light drives activating as soon as they reached safe distance. Of the 3,000 vessels that had entered human space with such confidence, fewer than 200 escaped to tell the tale. "Captain," General Hayes's voice came through the communication system, her tone mixing confusion with amazement. "What the hell just happened here?" Lena smiled as she looked out at the debris field that had once been the most powerful invasion fleet in galactic history. "Humanity grew up, General, just forgot to tell anyone." Through the neural network, she could feel the satisfaction of every enhanced human in the solar system. They had done more than defend Earth. They had shattered the hegemony's reputation for invincibility and announced humanity's emergence as a major galactic power. AEGIS. What's the status of the hidden facilities? All installations remain operational and concealed, the AI reported. We have successfully maintained the deception while demonstrating our true capabilities to the enemy. Lena realized that Dr. Reeves had planned even this perfectly. Humanity now had the best of both worlds, a reputation for being dangerous, enough to leave alone, while maintaining the secrecy of their true military capabilities. Captain Marcus said through the neural link, "Long-range sensors are detecting movement throughout the galaxy. Word of the battle is spreading faster than the surviving hegemony ships." "What kind of movement?" "Species that were conquered by the hegemony are declaring independence. Trade routes are being reestablished. It's like the entire galaxy is waking up from a nightmare." Alina felt a deep satisfaction flow through the neural network. They had done more than save Earth. They had broken the chains of oppression that had bound dozens of civilizations. Dr. Reeves, Alina said aloud, "Your sacrifice saved more than just humanity." "That was always the plan," came the reply through. "Aegis, humanity was never meant to rule the galaxy. We were meant to protect it." As the Prometheus began its journey back to the hidden facilities, Alina reflected on how much had changed in just a few weeks. They had started as simple salvagers and become the guardians of galactic freedom. The enhanced humans throughout the solar system had proven that when humanity was pushed to the edge, they didn't break. They evolved. 3 months later, Captain Alina Vasquez stood in the newly revealed command center of Fort Prometheus, watching as representatives from dozens of alien species arrived to establish formal diplomatic relations with Earth. The Galactic Council had been restructured, with humanity taking a leading role in maintaining peace and stability. The hegemony of worlds had fallen within weeks of the solar system battle. Without their reputation for invincibility, their subject species had risen in rebellion across the galaxy. The empire that had seemed eternal had crumbled when faced with proof that resistance was not only possible, but victorious. Captain Sarah reported from the communication station, "We're receiving a transmission from the edge of known space. It's from a species called the Kythera. They're requesting humanity's assistance with something called the Void Hunters." Alina smiled as she felt the anticipation of her enhanced crew through the neural network. Dr. Elizabeth Reeves had prepared them to defend humanity, but it seemed the galaxy had other plans for Earth's hidden guardians. "Plot a course, Marcus," Alina commanded. "It sounds like the galaxy needs humanity's protection again." As the Prometheus activated its quantum drives and disappeared into the vast darkness between stars, Alina knew that this was just the beginning. Humanity had revealed itself as a force for protection and justice in a galaxy that desperately needed both. The age of human expansion had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same.